How you doing, and welcome to another episode of Collecting with Rob. So today I'm going to be showing you a thrifting video of all of the high quality autographs, collectibles like statues, things like that, and artwork that Disney World has to offer. They have some really cool pieces, some very expensive stuff, and there's a lot that can be found there. Now I'm not showing you any of the Star Wars stuff. That's going to be a separate video, so stay tuned for that. But this is going to be, all of the other autographs, mainly Disney stuff like, Mickey Mouse, the animated stuff, and anything else related to Disney. So check it out. Alright, so here we go. Here's some of the autographs in Disney. Got some Cinderella. You got Snow White, Adriana Casalati. I have a piece by her. They want, what's that, $2,500. I got it for like $100 from Phil Sears. Here's a Margaret Kelly, Tinkerbell. They want $375. You can get that for around $50 on a secondary market. So very expensive pieces. You expect to pay those, the premium prices when you're in Disney. Here's Winnie the Pooh, Bambi. Nice dual sign. Here's a Lion King cast sign piece, and they want $5,500. That's very overpriced. You can get that on the secondary market, probably less than a few $100s to get the whole cast. You've got Lion King. And down here you got 101 Dalmatians, Winnie the Pooh, and here's the Grail of all grails, Walt Disney, a piece that I hope someday to have in my collection. This is, this is a major grail for most people. They want $22,000 for that, and then they have Roy Disney, which they want $8,000. Now I think Walt is more around $8,000. You can get him from Phil Sears secondary market around there, and then Roy probably a couple thousand. But $22,000 is too much. You're probably paying for the framing more so than even just the autograph individually, but $22,000 is a lot. I definitely want to add them to my collection one day, but more around hopefully in the $8,000 range. He's the ultimate grail. They also have these little sculpts. They're like wooden type sculpts. They got Donald, they got Mickey, they got Groot. So you got your Marvel, Pinocchio, Little Mermaid. Nice pieces. Mickey, Minnie, Donald. Pirates. This is a nice sculpt for Pirates. If you're a Pirates of the Caribbean fan, this is a nice piece to put in a display case. Moving on to some of the artwork. That's a nice Padme. Got the castle. You got Dumbo. Guardians of the Galaxy. They have canvases. They have original artwork, prints. And of course you're paying the Disney premium for all of it. Some nice pieces. The framing's pretty nice. It was surprising to me. I didn't think the framing would be that great, but the framing was very nice. But the prices with the framing just put it through the roof. You can get a lot of these, they sell just separately, just the prints or the canvas without the frame. It's significantly cheaper. Cinderella, Little Mermaid Ariel, some Mickey Mouse, Lilo and Stitch, Pinocchio, signed by the artist, Italy, Snow White, Epcot Germany edition. Some more statues, little statues put in your display cases, china closets, things like that. Pinocchio. And then you got Haunted Mansion. Haunted Mansion is highly valuable and collectible. If you're going to buy something from the Disney parks, you should go for either Pirates, is highly collectible, and Haunted Mansion. I think those are the two top collected items. And they have a lot of that kind of stuff. Here's Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, some artwork. And then here's their Star Wars artwork. Again, framing looks nice. You got Baby Grogu. You got Stormtroopers. You got the Millennium Falcon. It's a nice looking frame. Here you go, the Disney stuff. Mickey, Goofy, Donald. Mickey and Pluto, Halloween. Looks like a haunted house. Cars. Donald and Daisy. Nice frames, artwork that you can put right in the on the wall. Definitely get people talking when you go in. Here's some more autographs that they had. These are very expensive. You got Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford's always expensive, but these were about 10 times his value they were selling it for. Chris Hemsworth. Nice. That Audrey Hepburn is not signed. You got Chris Evans. This is signed by him. Captain America. And then down below it, you got Ewan McGregor. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Frank Oz did not sign the Yoda part, but it's Ewan McGregor signed. Nice piece, though. Here's some more artwork with some nice framing. You got Minnie right there. Nice looking pieces. Again, everything here is very, very expensive. Expensive is not even the word. It's Disney premium prices. You're gonna pay top dollar when it's Disney. So expect that. These are like old 1990s cassette tapes. They made like artwork, and then they have these tables where you can get Snow White, Little Mermaid, all different Disney characters. Very nice. And then it's a glass table, coffee table. Nice to set up your living room with that. Get one of these framed artwork. Get the table. Put it together. It looks nice. Got these gadget-looking artwork. They're pretty cool. A little expensive as well. It's nice to just appreciate and walk through the artwork, but a lot of this stuff is unaffordable. Here's Lady and the Tramp table. It's a smaller coffee table. Very expensive as well. Some artwork. Mickey and Pluto. Little statue sculpts you can put in a display case. You got Minnie Mouse, Daisy, Donald. Here's another table. This one's very nice if you like Beauty and the Beast. You got Belle and the Beast. You got that big, gigantic Ariel with Flounder. If you have a very big house with a big hallway and a lot of money, it's a nice piece to have. 7 Dwarfs. Tinkerbell. It's crystals, glass sculpts. Snow White. The Evil Witch. Here's the Ariel Little Mermaid glass table. That's nice. It's Goofy. This table is cool. It's all the villains. So if you appreciate the villains, which they may be making a villains park in Disney, we'll see if that happens. But that's a nice table. Some more paintings. Glass sculpts. Let's move on to show some more paintings and artwork. They're all very nice. And even the framing is pretty good too. Here's another one of those tables, like turtles. This crystal castle. Look at the price of this, $100,000. It's nice, but it's not that nice. Some more sculpts. This Cinderella crystal, 35,000. Wow. Cinderella. These are like Swarovski crystals. So you got Mickey, Minnie. So it's always expensive. That Walt with Mickey, I don't think that was that expensive. So that's a cool piece to have. They got Elsa, Dumbo. Expect lots of Elsa and Frozen stuff. It's very popular. Glass crystals. Go over here. We could see some more of these. These are nice to put in like a DTOF, any type of display case, something like that. You got your Mickey, your Pluto, Rapunzel, Ariel. The evil queen, Maleficent, Dumbo. So you got the villains and the good characters. This is a nice castle right here. Right here. It's a nice castle. Of course, it costs a fortune, but it's nice. These little glass things you can get at any mall. You just put your picture, it goes in. Nothing special there. Some more crystals. Swarovski. Ariel, Flounder. A little behind the scenes. You got your prototypes. These look like prototypes. I don't know if they're actually that, but they're pretty cool. A little expensive. It's like Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, Cinderella, Rapunzel. Thank you for watching, and as always, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and we'll see you in the next video. Happy collecting.